What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and we're finally back with another episode of Chat with Cardy, Season 4, Episode 3. It probably should have been Season 4, Episode number 4, but I have a fairly good enough reason into why I couldn't post last week. It was my laptop. You know, I recorded an episode on the Wednesday, and on that Wednesday, that's where it all just went to shit, and I lost the file. So even though I had it posted, I couldn't upload it, and I guess even if it did eventually upload, it was kind of an irrelevant episode considering what just happened that day. So a lot of the stuff that I was going to talk about probably won't even be discussed this time around, but you may have seen a community post or a couple other posts just talking about it if you've been following the Instagram and all that. It's not too bad now. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but I will talk about the situation now, but let's just what actually happened. Like, how did the laptop fuck up? It's not like it's a bad laptop. People think, oh, you should get a new one because of what happened. No, the laptop's perfectly fine. Like, it's an absolute beast of a laptop, and I use it for everything. Like, it's literally my probably most important possession, my laptop. I use it for everything, even if it's not YouTube related. You know, I always take it on trips. You know, even if I just want to watch a movie or you know, KO, whatever it is, you know, it might not just be because I use it for editing or whatever, or researching. I use it every day just about, the laptop. So, you know, when that happened on the Wednesday, I was, you know, pretty flat, didn't know what I was going to do, but it did happen, 4:30. So what happened was I was just using it normally, didn't think anything of it. Sometimes my laptop can get slow, I guess, if I'm using it on hours and hours on end, and I've got a lot of tabs open, which I sometimes tend to do. I have a lot of tabs open, different apps open at the same time, and I figured, well, okay, I was a little bit slow. I may as well restart the laptop. I was going to restart it, and it did. There was a Windows update. It was like a little mini 4 or 5 minute Windows update. You click restart with updates, you're like, all right, nothing's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure I went to go pick up my sister from work, which, on a side note, she has been milking me so badly in the last 2 weeks, from, you know, her getting lifts and bloody pickups from fucking work. I reckon I've done it 7 or 8 times in the last 2 weeks. And sometimes I'm always like, just get fucked. But no, I end up still doing it. But I went to go grab it from work, 10-minute drive, came back, and I thought I'd just, you know, have the laptop ready. It was a 5-minute update. I went to go pick her up, came back, and gave me this blue screen. It said, enter your recovery key. Well, you know, hopefully thought, okay, I'll put the recovery key in, then it should just take me to the normal page where I enter my PIN and we can use the laptop again. It didn't do that. Kept saying there were issues with the network. Then they kept telling me there were other issues, and I went to ask my dad if he knew how to fix it. He tried to help. I used ChatGPT. I even bloody drove to Officeworks and thought that if I could copy Windows on a different what did I buy? One of those SD drives, you know, like a USB drive, put on a stick. Even that didn't work. Every option under the sun that I thought was actually going to fix this, which didn't seem originally like it was going to be a bad or something too difficult to fix, didn't work. So, you know, issue was 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's now 9:30. I'm like, well, fucking hell, what do I do? My motivation completely plummeted. So I don't even think I ended up going to the gym or doing what I was supposed to. I just didn't know what to do. I already wasted the whole day, and I was really fearful that I wasn't going to be able to do anything for the next week or so. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I still had a little bit of faith that, okay, the next day we'll just call up technical support, or at the very worst, we'll go into a laptop repair shop. All right, so I didn't have a laptop for the night, didn't get to you know, do much on it. Next night or next morning, called them up. This guy I was on the phone with for over an hour, pretty much gave me all the options of trying to fix it, and we couldn't really come to a conclusion, or we couldn't resolve the issue. He couldn't fix the issue. He even said, oh, you just completely reinstall Windows. And if you do that, you actually wipe all the files off your laptop. I don't know why it does that, but apparently that's what happens. And I wasn't massively keen on having that be the case, because obviously there are files on my laptop that I would like to keep. I guess it could have been worse. So if you remember last year, I had an issue where I lost a hard drive and I lost all of those files on the hard drive. I've got a hard drive and I've got stuff backed up to the cloud, but there are some files that are not backed up because I guess I didn't expect to have an issue. So if I end up having to reset all those files, that would suck. I know that I did lose 10 hours of probably editing, so 10 hours of editing footage from Premiere Pro projects. The old ones I don't really care about, so I already made the video, but the ones that I was like in the middle of creating. So that sucks. That probably, in all honesty, meant that the last 2 or 3 days from last week was kind of a waste with what I was doing. But the guy said that I had to take it into Lenovo so they could pick it up and fix it. And that kind of really flattered my motivation even more, to be honest with you, because I was feeling all right. Like, I had a good start after my Thailand trip in terms of, being productive and getting motivated, back into the gym, all of that, getting back onto the YouTube grind despite it being off season. And that really put a real a dammer in my heart, to be honest. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I do have another laptop. This is a laptop that I've had from 2021 to 2023. But it's kind of seen its last days now, to be honest, because I didn't get it brand new. I got it secondhand from a mate. And late 2023, I started running into a lot of issues with it. Really slow, would constantly crash. And yeah, that's obviously why I was deficient to getting the one that I have now, that laptop. But I figured we'll see if that one would work. It was a piece of shit. Like, it was so slow. I'm just like, well, fuck, I don't know what to do, man. I genuinely didn't know what to do for the next week and a half from that point onwards. So let's just say the last 5 or 6 days have passed, and things are okay now. My dad luckily came in clutch. He was always looking at getting another laptop for his work, or one that anyone in the house could use, I guess, because technology can sometimes just be a pain in the ass and there could be issues. So he had, I don't know, found a really good deal or whatever it was on a laptop that was still worth using for something that I need, that could just do any form of editing or whatever, that's powerful enough. And it works fine. I've been using it the last 5 or 6 days, so that's really come in clutch. If it wasn't for that, I actually don't know what I'd be using, because the Lenovo team were like, all right, well, we'll come to grab the laptop and we'll send it in and fix it. And who knows how long that shit's going to take. Like, I don't think they're going to need to replace parts, because I think it's still 100% just a software problem with Windows. But they still haven't arrived. Like, this was what they said they were going to do on Thursday. They said that it was going to take from anywhere from 6 to 10 days. I thought, no, it's going to take at least 2 weeks. I just deep down thought it was going to take at least two weeks. Sometimes it takes longer, because you just don't know how long it's going to take for them to come and ship it out, how long it's going to take for them to fix it. So pick it up, fix it, and drop it back. I don't even know where the services are, if it's in Melbourne. I only just got an email today about the fact that they were going to come collect it in the next 1 or 2 days. So that would have been over a week since they originally said they were going to come. So thank fuck I do have this other laptop for now. It's not as good as my good laptop, obviously, but it's still a pretty solid backup, handy laptop. And I'll tell you a few things about it. It's much quieter. So I don't know if you can notice it through this recording at all, but you're probably not going to hear the laptop go off at all. It's like really, really quiet for some reason. And I think it has a lot better of a battery life. It's a lot small. Well, it's quite a bit smaller and it's a lot lighter. So perhaps next year, I guess, being a backup sort of replacement laptop, maybe I consider using it instead of bringing the other laptop to, if I go on like a trip for a couple of days, being it a bit smaller and it has a better battery life, it could be good to use on the go, and a little bit lighter as well. So not much to worry about traveling and carrying. Obviously, I'm not going to lose it. That would be pretty bad if I did that. But I feel like, at least with laptops, you're not really going to lose a laptop, are you? That's not something that I would do. I know people have given me shit in the past for misplacing things and breaking stuff, but I'm not sure if I'd do that for a laptop. So yeah, laptop's been good though. Like, it's worked its wonders. Throughout the week last week, I was trying to work on that Telstra ad and edit the recreation that I was planning on doing. And one big problem I had with the whole task was actually masking. So people might not know what masking is if you're not familiar with editing or video software or whatever. Masking is essentially just the well, I'm not the best at explaining this, to be honest, but it's just like, essentially, if let's say you want to mask or crop out a part of a video and remove the background. So for example, let's say I'm making this motion and I want to just remove the background and just have it myself. Well, beforehand, with the software that I was using, I had to manually do it. Every single frame, I had to pinpoint every single part of my body and have it cut out and then do it frame after frame. It wouldn't be able to pick it up manually, like automatically. Just the software was too shit. and it would always take a very long time. It was always a very, very tedious task, and I'd always fucking hate doing it. It was boring. I wanted to cut corners, but I just knew if I did that, it was going to look shit. And masking would take up to 6 to 7 hours for 5 to 6 seconds worth of footage. I've masked before, but I've never really been wanting to. I've always been reluctant to masking because it would just take forever, and I just think it wouldn't. I just didn't think it was worth the time. How's it worth 5 hours to mask a 5-second bit of footage? 5 seconds is not worth 5 hours for my personal time, that's for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. I figured out with a new laptop that there was a way of actually getting it done with this new software Premiere Pro have, and it's so much easier. I can even show you an example right now. What point of this? All right, I'm going to write it down so I can actually remember to put this in. But I can now mask things so much easier. So, for example, I'll now be blue. All right, move around a little bit. I'm blue. I'm not going to edit any more in because it's going to take forever to analyze. It does take a little bit of time for it to do it itself. But, mate, you don't have to do anything. So when that's happening, you can just, for 5 minutes, work on something else on it, or on Photoshop, or go take your dog for a walk whilst that's doing its own job. And I just think it's fucking a lot much less stressful. So I'm going to use that a lot more in videos now, the whole masking and cropping myself out, adding effects, because I've got ideas to make them look cool. And I know I needed to do that a lot for the Telstrad recreation, which I finally put out on Sunday. And I think it came along pretty nicely, that video. So I posted on my main channel, just thought it'd be kind of funny to put it up, and I put it up on Instagram. That did quite well on Instagram. I've always actually thought, as of recent, Instagram is just a lot better of a platform than TikTok is when posting content. TikTok lately has been really bad. I've never been massive on TikTok, but you sort of got to grow with the time. So, I like posting on TikTok. I think it's fun when a video does all right. But yeah, I just haven't been able to find the algorithm as of late. Even so, the Telstrad got a lot more traction and discoverability on Instagram Reels. I think it ended up with 45k views, 3.5k likes in 3 days, which isn't too bad. Even Telstra commented on it. I don't reckon it's got any more than 4 to 5k views on TikTok. It's doing shit. And I've noticed the last few weeks, I just don't really know how to grow TikTok or have that work right now when the footy season's been over. The ones you put in more effort, genuinely, the TikToks you put in the most effort into always do the worst. And I've actually seen that really in the last 2 to 3 weeks, really just full on. I've put in some decent effort short form clips, and they just haven't performed well. And the ones that you literally just film something for a minute end up being the ones that just take off and get hundreds of thousands of views. It's the low effort ones. They reward you for the for minimal effort on TikTok more than Instagram Reels, even, to be honest. TikTok's just weird. You would think there should be a formula. If you're working a normal job, if you put 3 hours of effort into something, you should earn $100 or whatever it is. There should be a flat rate. There's no flat rate with TikTok. We don't really make money off TikTok at all. I haven't made a cent on it apart from a TikTok live every now and then. But I just found it. There's no flat rate whatsoever. You could put 30 seconds of effort into something and it gets 1 million views in theory, and you could put a little 10 hours of effort into something and it gets 3,000 views. So I'm not sure what I'll be doing on TikTok, but maybe just veer away from footy stuff for a bit, and I'll just see what works, because I think with that, you've got more of a lenience on just posting random shit. So yeah, that's sort of what content's been like the last week, which hasn't been a lot, to be honest. I know it is getting to the real off-season sort of time of things, unless your name's Dylan Alexander or you're a channel that prioritizes and draft content. There isn't really a lot in November. November is a shit month, in my opinion. It's one of the more boring months of the year because there's just no sport on, there's no footy. There's really nothing for me to do, to be honest with you. And I can't afford to just do nothing, because if I do nothing, then realistically, I'm screwing myself over in what I want to do with this in the future, right? So I've got to still find ways of figuring out what I'm doing to do with this, even if it's behind the scenes stuff to prepare for the footy season next year, or streams or some other content that's not footy stuff. But it's just it hasn't been a great start to the month because I just haven't had the motivation. I guess with the laptop shit happening, and then I not having videos perform greatly because it is off season, and maybe just finding reasons or excuses into not actually putting as much time as I was at the start of last week. I don't know, but sport as well. There isn't any sport to watch either. in my opinion. I know there is A-League and NBL, but I've never been one to get around those leagues at all. I know there's NBA on. I know there's NFL on, but that like just their sports I can't really follow. I kind of like the NBA. I've sort of not really started, but I have been watching the games every now and then, sort of keeping up to date. EPL, I like the EPL. I really do want to start getting into it properly. I'm not going to lie. That's one thing that I'd love to do. Because a lot of my mates follow it. We do an EPL fantasy league every year, the last few years, and I've always been the one of my classmates of that group of people for the last 2 years. Sorry, I find it so awkward having a water break whilst doing this because I actually can't speak for 2 seconds. But I've always been the one with the most minimal knowledge just about. So I don't know who I'm picking in the draft. I know like 30, 40 players and that's it. And even though I know them, it doesn't necessarily mean they're good or in good form. So I've actually found out, though, that it's actually not as much about how much you know it. It's more just about how much you update your team. Because it's a draft league. So it's not classic where you update every other week and you've got a salary cap. It's just whatever players are available, right? So if the players that you've got on your team aren't even in the league, for example, that's an issue. And I remember one year I picked up Harry Kane for whatever reason, thinking that he was still at Tottenham. He was at Bayern Munich, and I didn't even fucking gather that. So those are the mistakes that I was making back then. I'm still pretty shit, but I've recovered pretty good in the last 3 weeks. And if I keep trying to watch games and follow plays in particular, that'll help me in those leagues because every week the worst performing player has to pay up a little bit of money, and then at the end of the year we'll use all that money on a night out somewhere, and the loser does all these forfeits. And I've been doing the forfeits the last couple of years. One specifically being a beer mile, and if you don't know what that is, it's running 4 laps of the oval at night after you've already had a heap of drinks, and after every lap you down a beer and you keep running. And for some reason I actually have, in all beer miles I've done, which have been 2, haven't done too bad. My last one was pretty good. I should have filmed it, but it was something I don't want to do again. It was pretty shit. I didn't want to do it, and I vomited a lot. I vomit a lot when I drink, to be honest. So yeah, EPL would be nice to get into. I think I need to really start trying to actually find a proper team to support, and I've always found it difficult. I've said this a few times with supporting sporting leagues internationally, especially to pick a team. It's easier in Australia, I guess, if I'm actually into that sport, because you just pick a team locally, I guess, so you go to the games. But I've been one that always wants to be involved in going to games, and if I'm not going to any of the games, it is harder, and I haven't got any relation to a particular club. So I'm not going to want to pick a club because they're at the moment good, or if they've been successful, if they're popular. I like picking the smaller clubs, which is why I guess you could say I kind of go for more of the smaller clubs like the Saints, the Gades, Melbourne City, I guess, but I couldn't even tell you who they played last week, but I just have them over the Victory because they're scum. And maybe I'll go to an A-League derby. I think the A-League derbies are the only games I bother going to anymore. I've been to 3 or 4, they've been good. I've been to 2 or 3 other games that aren't A-League derbies. So, yeah, I don't know. November is a bit of a shit month. Cricket's not really massive yet. I mean, there is a series going with India, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm into the cricket yet. December's when cricket really starts getting into gear for me. November, I don't feel the cricket yet. It's when the Big Bash starts, is when the Test match starts, when all that shit, the Ashes. Then from December to January and Feb, I guess, for a little bit, I'm on cricket mode. But cricket's sort of, I don't know, maybe it'll start kicking into gear in November, but then maybe there needs to be a World Cup. I feel like there was a period where there were World Cups every year for cricket, but I don't know when the next one is. But I know there isn't one this year, I don't think. Also, you might be wondering, I've been holding the mic differently in this video so far, and I don't know if I'll be when I'll get a new boom arm. So obviously this isn't really meant to be held like this, these sort of mics. You attach them to what is called a boom arm, which I obviously used to have, but it's broken, and it broke when Chris and I did that Telstra stream. I don't know how he snapped it, but he snapped it, and I'm not sure if I'll get a new one anytime soon. I probably will, but I want to get a good quality one, but they're not cheap, so I don't know. Do I save that dough for a little bit later and hold it? But it is kind of annoying, and it'd be annoying if I'm streaming for a long time and I'm holding it. I can't hold it and play video games or really do anything else. So I'm probably gonna have to get a new one. But for the time being, you're just gonna have to see me deal with this. So hopefully I get it fixed soon. But it's a bit annoying, but that's all right. So yeah, we've gone on a little bit of a tangent. I haven't really put in too many notes with this. I like to jot down notes of what I'm going to talk about, but I kind of like just reading things from the fly and just what's going on top of my head sort of shit. Let's talk about, I guess, how my sleep and all that's been. People probably want to know, like, have I been holding myself accountable the last 2 weeks? The answer is no. I'll be straight up and honest, just not really at all. Maybe it's because it's off season, but I don't think that's really a proper reason. I think even if this was like footy season, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. So I got to figure out ways of stopping it. I have been really shit again with like going to sleep and still having my phone with me. I have been sleeping earlier, to be honest. I haven't really been going to bed that late anymore. Like, remember I said I went to bed at like 5 o'clock and all that? I know that's just so excessive, and I've only been going to bed like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at the very most, but I'm just struggling to get out of bed in the morning. Like, just I'm awake at like, sometimes I'm awake at 8 or 9, but I just feel really fucking tired. And I'm not, even though I know I've got stuff on during the day and you know, I have tasks in the morning, I just don't really seem to have that drive to get out of bed at the time or whatever it is until like 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So it isn't as bad as it was. I can guarantee you it is not as bad, but it really isn't that still great, and I would like to definitely improve on that, and I don't think it's as hard as what I'm making out to be. So I don't know. I've been trying to figure out some ways, whether it's, you know, have my phone away from my bed. I think I should do that. I don't think it's the best idea having your phone. My mum's always said to me, you know, you could start a fire having the phone charger next to your bed, and I've always been like, fuck off, that never happens. But even if that won't happen, I just don't think it's actually great having my phone next to me in my bed. I don't really have a bedside table because I haven't got space for a bedside table. So I got the bed and I haven't really got anything else. So I normally just have my phone on the bed. But sometimes, you know, if I am on my phone late at night, I could just sleep with it on, and then it's not charged, and it's not going to, if there is an alarm set, it won't go off because normally it just, you know, drains the battery. So we'll see what we do with that sort of stuff, because I definitely want to get better at that. Heading over the next few months, I just want to be real consistent with my routine, because for a lot of other things, my gym stuff and my food stuff's been pretty good, to be honest, but the sleep and, I guess, productivity throughout days has sort of dropped off, because yeah, first week back from the Thailand trip, I was up first few days like real early, getting breakfast, and then planning out what I was going to do during the day and ticking off the tasks. Now I'm like just kind of getting the stuff done, but like just sort of still being kind of unproductive, like on my phone and just sort of scrolling when I know I need to be doing something else. So I could tell you guys if you give me any ideas of how to help that even more, but I think I know what I need to do. I just got to get back on track with it. So maybe a chat with Cardy can help me, but we'll see. From this time next week, how many days will I be up before 9? I'm going to try and set myself and start a streak. So start a streak, because I know every time when I'm up early, I'm always productive. But when I start the day later, I'm not as productive because I've wasted the first few hours of the morning, and I'm not really so keen in anymore, like being up at 11 or 12 and, you know, on my laptop. I kind of want to like relax at that time now. So if I just start getting up earlier, then I can still relax at that time and get more stuff done. That's the way I see it. So yeah, sleep probably needs to get a bit better. I don't know, off season, it's just a fucking shit excuse though. No genuine excuse at all. And weekends as well. Like weekends I always find, even if I have a really good week, like weekdays, I always see it as like, oh well, it's the weekend, so I can sleep in if I haven't got anything planned, or if I'm doing something the night before and I get home late, and then say, oh well, I'll just go to sleep and sleep in, and it doesn't really affect me, but it should affect me more. But the gym's been going pretty decent. I'll tell you, that's been going all right. So I started at 67 kilos back a couple of weeks ago. So I went in, I was 67 kilos, and that's not a great weight. I think my lightest was like 60, 50, not maybe even less than 60 potentially. I don't know if it was at this weight, but it would have been probably when I finished school. So I have gone up a bit, and since the 67, I'm now 72, and I just realized I said 6'7". Maybe we'll fucking talk about that later. just to get that out of my mind. But yeah, 72 kilos now I think I am. Well, I was on Monday, and it's Wednesday as I'm recording this, so could be more considering yesterday I had like 13 drinks from the Melbourne Cup. But yeah, the weight's gone up, and it's not just like, oh, the weight's gone up, but I haven't seen any progression and all that. Yeah, it's almost getting back to the stage where I was before I stopped for 7 months. So yeah, no, it's gone all right. But I probably want to still keep going a bit consistently. Even last week, I missed a day because of the whole laptop shit, and I was not feeling the best. But it's been pretty good. Like, I've been eating a lot more, but I could still eat more. Like, my appetite does actually increase the more I eat. Because if you're not eating a lot and you've just been consistently not eating a lot, you've even if you are just having like dinner and not eating much, you do feel full, even not with eating much. But nowadays, I haven't eaten I don't think I've eaten more food in a 2 or 3 week span than I have now ever. And I'm still feeling hungry when I should really not be feeling hungry at all because I've just had a massive meal. So it's crazy how that works, but that's just the way the stomach is, to be honest. So yeah, no, that's been going all right. Almost back at 140 deadlift, which I think is pretty solid. And getting to 80 kilo bench again. I think I lifted on Monday. I can't remember if I did or not, but yeah, I've been able to bench 80 kilos for 3 or 4 before I stopped. And people probably don't think that is true for myself. They look at me and go, this guy probably can't even bench 50 kilos. But it's all about form. And I don't have a physique that people think is amazing. It's definitely been more sleeper build, but hopefully that can change where people see me and go, all right, this guy definitely kind of knows what he's doing. So it'll be good for the off season. I know Ryder Henshi's been posting a bit about it, and I wouldn't mind doing some content with him. And I might do some of that soon, actually, content with Henshi. So like training content, maybe more on his channel. But yeah, get fit for the over the off season. This is a good time over summer, because if I play footy next year, which I'm pretty confident I will, I think I'll play for the Wattle Park Animals. I do want to be one of the stronger players in the team and actually stay on my feet, not get knocked over as much, and yeah, just be fitter around as well, because it's also with running. I hate running. I don't know if I'll ever really get into running properly, but I've never been a massive fan of running. I just find running boring. Just plain and simple. I just find it boring, and I don't really see the motivation in getting up at 7 a.m. to go for a run. I would always give myself an excuse, but I've never really said, oh, I'm going to go for a run at 7 a.m. But just in general, I could never see myself properly doing it. But I guess if there is a drive, or if you're running whilst you have a foot in your hand, or you're running with a mate, I think running with a mate definitely encourages you to actually want to do it, even if you feel like you don't want to. Because that's even the same with the gym. Like, I don't feel as motivated going to the gym by myself as opposed to if I went with someone else, because we can talk, in between sets, and we've got each other to like motivate each other on, I guess, in terms of doing better, or outperforming my mate or whatever it is. And I guess, yeah, true, if you're with a mate, you might be waiting for a bit longer for him to finish his set so you can do yours on the same machine. But I still probably prefer going with other people, because I'm not often training on my own. But when I'm training on my own, I guess the positives are you are able to get it done quicker, and you can put AirPods on. You can listen to pretty good music, or better music than what the gym normally plays, because I do play a lot of shit very, very often, actually. I don't know why they always play the same shit tunes. I don't want to be listening to Dance Monkey whilst trying to deadlift 120 kilos. Fuck that. But yeah, that's probably all I'll talk about with gym, because I don't want to talk about that too much. I don't want to talk about gym and sleeping and content that much or anything like that for the rest of the chat with Cardi's. I do want to talk about it a little bit, but not massively there, because I want to still go back to what the original part of what chat with Cardi was, and just talking about and ranting about random fucking shit. What's up? So what did I get up to the weekend then? If you're a member, I filmed a members vlog. I can't remember if it'll be out yet. It should be out, but if it's not, it'll be out very soon. I got up to a bit. Like, I did get up to a bit. It's been 2 weeks since I've done a bit of a catch-up. I haven't really streamed much, honestly, in the last couple of weeks. I did the Telstra stream on the IRL. I don't know if it didn't perform as great as I thought it was gonna, but it's something different. I still want to experiment with IRL stuff, so that's all right. I still enjoyed it, and I think it was still overall a success. But that was the week before that. I jumped on the J Tomo stream actually on the Friday night. Now, that was interesting, because I wasn't planning on going on that stream at all. That day, Didn't have plans on going once. I did not have plans on going on that stream at all, because I was expecting to head up to rural SA, Vic, and we were going to do a stream, Andy and myself, which will still happen, but we're going to have to delay that because when my laptop fucked up, I just didn't have enough time to cram everything else in the final day before I left to prepare for the stream. Because if I'm going to prepare for a stream like that, which is kind of going to be like challenges, heading to rural parts of SA, and I think we're going to head to Mount Gambier and tour all the grounds there and go and show some of the cool parts of old former footy grounds, or not former grounds, I guess, but the content Andy Munro does. I wanted to take it on my stream and get him involved and some of the locals. So we've had the idea for a bit. We've also had the idea of recording some other stuff, maybe a lot of short form stuff as well. But that stream would have been like one that would have, taken a bit of time and planning to make sure it does all right. Because when I do my live streams, the IRL streams as well, the ones that perform the best are the ones that are talked about in the lead up a little bit more. The ones that put a bit more time in the advertising and promoting. If I promote the stream a few days in advance and put up a post or two, normally it leads to a better performing stream because more people know about it. I'm not sure what the ideal time to stream anymore on my channel is because, people say, oh, Friday night. I put up a post of the other week. They say they want to do a Friday stream, but then I feel to myself, I don't know if Friday night's a great time to stream at all because, I went on the J Tomo stream. He did an overnight stream, and I've always thought to myself, there aren't really many content creators in the community or in the space anymore that do streams in general, but do those sort of streams. Yeah, it is similar to what the stuff I've done. Like, that was a similar concept and idea to stuff I've done. Overnight punishment stream, whatever it is. He did want me to head to his place to make a feature. Now, I live quite a far away from where he lives, over an hour away. So I was just like, look, I'd be happy to if I could, but it was going to be a far stretch, and I was planning on not being in Melbourne at the time, so I couldn't have made it. I was on his stream every 15, 20 minutes, just looking in to see how it was performing. I could see he wasn't really getting the viewers he probably wanted. I can understand that feeling when you put in a lot of planning, time, preparation for something, like a live stream, and it doesn't plan or perform the way you want it to. Whether it is because of lag or problems that are out of your control, or maybe because it just isn't that much, hype in the chat. There might not be much going on the stream. It might not be as entertaining. There are many factors and reasons into why a stream might underperform. But I'm just like, I kind of wanted to jump on the stream. I let him know as a last minute, sort of like at 9 o'clock, that fuck it, I'll head up for a little bit, try and convince Blake to get on, and just give me something to do for the rest of the night, because that night I didn't have much planned, to be honest. So I figured that'd be kind of entertaining, and I knew he was going to be up all night. So yeah, he was keen on me going. His parents were pretty thrilled about it as well. His mum gave me a big greeting when I walked in, and I thought the stream was pretty fun. I think, we had some kind of decent ideas. I think overall he did a pretty good job, and I can understand maybe his frustration to why he believed that the stream could have performed a bit better. But that sort of stuff's difficult. Like, to get into that market and getting an audience that'll be able to watch you for that long, doing all that at the time that he was streaming on Friday night. The India v Australia ODI, was it the ODI or the T20? That was on that night. So lots of people would have been at the game or tuning into that. I know Oasis had a concert that would have maybe had something to do with it. Just extra events, a Friday night, Halloween as well. People would have had a lot of Halloween parties, especially it being a Friday night. So I can understand as well that may have been taken away a couple of viewers for a stream like that. But yeah, no, I jumped on that stream. I thought it was good. I did want to talk about my thoughts and feelings towards the stream, because I thought it was pretty fun. We got Blake on it as well, but I think I ended up going home at 3 o'clock that morning. So I just wanted to give back to Jesse, because he's an integral part of this sort of newer evolving community that he's trying to come up with cool and creative ideas, and I think he's doing all right. Hopefully he keeps at it, because at the moment it doesn't seem like there are many out there doing so. I went to the AFLW on Sunday to watch the Saints play the Bulldogs. Now, before that game, the Saints weren't guaranteed to make finals, so that was great, just to have that little relief of stress off your shoulder, knowing that you've already made finals, because the Saints have never made finals in their short history. I think we've played since 7 seasons. Oh my God, I didn't even mean to do that. Fuck. We've played around that amount of season. I think 7. And we haven't made finals yet. So, yeah, it's good to finally reach that point into our, I guess, history to finally play finals. I went to watch us play the Bulldogs, and it was a hot day. Like, Melbourne, we haven't really had many hot days for a while, obviously, since the last summer. But, yeah, it was probably around 30 degrees. I was there, and I enjoy going to the AFLW, but I only enjoy it when there are other people there to go to the games with. And sometimes when I go there and I just don't know who to bloody hang around with, that sort of sucks. Like, if I had the opportunity to, I wouldn't go. If I had no one to go with, I would rather watch it on TV, to be honest, if I'm only there by myself. So I didn't know who was there. I rocked up because I did want to support them for one last time, possibly. I've been to a game, only the one game this year, so that was my second, and we did lose that game against West Coast. I thought we were going to win heading into that game, and I thought we were going to beat the Bulldogs. Quite simple. That they were below us on the ladder. We were playing for a home final, and we played shit. We played really, really bad. And we sort of just capitulated at the end, to be honest, and we just gave up goal after goal in that last quarter and lost the game by 45 points. And I realised to myself that I'm a real curse to the AFLW Saints team that have won every other game at RSCA Park bar the 2 games I've attended. So I reckon the last 4 games of women's footy I've been to, the Saints have lost in. The Saints are playing finals, but it's going to be in Adelaide, and I'm not going. It's going to take up a whole weekend. I very highly doubt I'll be going unless someone gives me a good enough reason to go and I can tag along with them, stay with them or whatever, they drive up, but I'm probably not going. But I will definitely watch it. But yeah, Adelaide on a Sunday, I don't know if that's great, which sort of sucks because all the other bloody games and finals are in bloody Melbourne. But the bloody leagues, we know North Melbourne have fucking won it already. Like, they're 25 wins in a row. It sort of sucks for the competition. There's just the gap between the best and the worst sides. There's just too much of a gap. Even the gap between the top 4 sides, like North are that much better ahead of everyone else. They're that far ahead of the rest of the pack. Like, bloody, they're like $1.02 odds to beat the Hawks on Friday. But the AFLW was alright. Like, when I went, apart from the result, there wasn't many people there that I knew, to be honest. So I was sort of like walking around like aimlessly looking for someone that I knew. I thought Marmalade might have been there. I couldn't find them. I couldn't find really anyone else I knew. Scoops was there. I did chat with him. Scoops is always at the women's games. He's a big fan of the women's games. He doesn't just go to Saints games. I saw Duxie, so he was there at the end. And the lads from Isle 29, Brax and his dad, I fucking forget the name, but they do like little interviews as well. They were there as well. So I had a chat with them in the last quarter. I did mark a footy in the last quarter as well. So that's something I can tick off the footy bucket list of marking now a footy at the AFL and the AFL women's. But overall it's kind of shit. After the game, I watched the Crows v Dockers game because that was still possibly for the Saints to play a home final. Duxie was like, "Okay, we'll go grab dinner," because honestly, I wasn't going to get food at the women's. It was too expensive to get food there. Like, genuinely, it was just too expensive. I wasn't going to spend $20 on average food at the AFLW. And then we say it's too expensive. We got a bloody TGI Friday. TGI Fridays, I won't lie, it used to be really good, and I've been kind of off that place for a while. The quality of the food has just gone down a hill big time, and it's expensive as well. But Duxie was adamant that, you know, he wanted it, and they had the footy on, and there was actually a really good deal on at the time. So I'm like, fuck it. I think I ended up paying $30, but I got a good amount of food, and it was probably worth it. I don't know if it was definitely worth it, but I was full afterwards, and it was a decent meal. But yeah, just the quality of TGI Fridays has gone down, in my opinion, over the last 15, 20 years. I remember going back as a kid when they really stole, like, their focus was on like sort of Americanized culture. You'd have like the old the old photos of, like, you know, former, I don't know, race car drivers or whatever whatever they were going for at the time. They had really cool a decor at the restaurants, and they sort of stopped with that and made it a lot more minimalistic and just, you know, like every other place. So it doesn't feel the same. The vibes at TGI Fridays were kind of cool. They were going for like a rock and roll vibe, I guess you could say. I don't know. I can't sort of remember exactly because it was a while ago, but it felt more colourful. It felt more kid friendly. And yeah, I definitely enjoyed going there a lot more as a kid, and I thought the food was better, but I haven't really been as much as of late because, yeah, it's just a bit different, the place. But yeah, in terms of like that, I also, obviously, yesterday, Melbourne Cup, actually, we'll talk about that. Melbourne Cup, I've never been a huge fan of the Melbourne Cup in terms of like the whole event. I think it's heavily overrated. They say it's the race that stops the nation. Most people probably don't give a fuck. Like, I don't think most people actually watch the race, to be honest. But the people that watch the race, let's be honest, they only watch it and they only want to watch it for one reason: hopefully to win money with mates. So unless you are just passionate in the whole sport that is horse racing, you're probably not really going to care. Like, did anyone know much about the jockeys and the horses before the race, before they looked it up on Sportsbet? No, they didn't. Did I win money? No, I didn't. I didn't win shit. Now, I went to my mate's place. We've had it a tradition of the last 5 years, I think it is now, or whatever it's been, on Melbourne Cup Day, we'd all come around together, watch the races. There have been traditions with my mates and doing other stuff throughout the footy season. Sometimes I can't go because of other commitments, but on Melbourne Cup Day, I have no fucking commitments at all. So I was very happily, up to getting wasted. And I got relatively wasted on the day, to be honest. You know, we got there at 2. We did the sweepskates. We picked the horses that we wanted. I picked 3 horses. Each person picked 3 randomized. My numbers, I believe, were 3, 15, and 22. So fitting that I got 22. But you know, I didn't place. I put like 4 or 5 bets on amounting to $25, and I didn't win. And that's why I don't gamble, because I don't win. I always end up being a loser, but it's always every now and then, who knows? May as well put something on. But I wasn't committed. I wasn't willing to lose more than what I put on the table, and I was like, $25 is the most I'm gonna do. I fucking didn't lose. I didn't win. I don't think any of my mates won. None of my mates' horses won either. So we all lost, but that's just only a minor part of the whole event. We didn't like go home after that because it was only like 3:15 when the races end. We still bloody stayed the whole bloody night just about. I left at around 11. Had a lot to drink, and for some reason after I come back from like having heaps of drink, I feel a sense of motivation. So you feel a sense of motivation to doing shit, even though you should be feeling really shit. I was because with my laptop, that is currently hopefully under repair. I don't know when they're going to come and grab it. Hopefully soon. I think they said in 2 days. All of the music files are lost, and that really sucks because I have a lot of good tracks on my laptop, all sorted by genre, by not really by artists, but more like by mood and feeling. A lot of copyrighted songs that I use in videos. I got like over 300 in there. A lot from Epidemic Sounds. They're all fucking gone, so I've got to bloody download them and file them and all that. So I just bloody did that for 2 hours for some reason whilst bloody hungover or still drunk. Yeah, and then the next morning I didn't feel too hungover, but then afterwards I sort of felt it. It made it difficult to sleep. Whenever I've had a lot to drink, sometimes it can be hard to sleep. And in result, I slept in till like 11:30, 12 again. So that's what drinking does for you. That's Wednesday. That's today. That's today we're talking about. But yeah, yesterday was fun and catching up with people I haven't caught up with in a bit. Like we try to catch up together as often as we can. That group of mates, and I'm pretty cherished to still have that group of mates because most people don't still hang out with the people that they used to hang out with during school. The friend groups normally collapse. Ours is still pretty strong, and we're keen to go camping again. We haven't been camping in a bit. We went camping in 22. Or was it 23? It was 22, 23. If you count BTV as camping, we went camping then, and we also went to Bali in 2025. So we're thinking of that, and maybe a Japan trip at some stage. But I'll be honest with you, I can't afford a fucking Japan trip right now, not even with all the amount of money I have in my savings. So, yeah, that's not going to happen, though, anytime soon, I wouldn't have thought. But, yeah, I thought that was fun yesterday. But back now with Melbourne Cup over, not much now to look forward to. Back to really focus on getting some of this content out. So tomorrow, I should, hopefully not tomorrow, if not Friday, have both the vlog from Thailand and another video that you guys are probably waiting for on the channel. I won't really mention what it is, but yeah, that's something that will be out soon. So I'm pretty excited to get into it as well. Hopefully I get the laptop fixed. And with the laptop as well, I've had this problem with my I have a USB-C cord that got the port. Something happened with the port. It's really loose, and it will not allow you to plug in any devices. So the USB-C port's broken just about. I figured, well, I was always going to get around to taking it in, but I never wanted to do so because I'm so skeptical of how long it's going to take for them to actually fix it, and then knowing that I haven't got a laptop for that amount of time. Now that I am going to have to take it in for another reason, I'm going to tell him, mate, just fucking fix the port. He may as well do it two in one, kill two birds with one stone. So yeah, hopefully I can get that fixed as well, because then when I get it back, I'll finally have a USB-C port working, and that'll alleviate so much problems that I had before with my laptop, because I couldn't like connect multiple monitors with it because of the fact that that port was broken. It was really annoying. I couldn't do a lot of things now actually without it, but no, it's all right now. What stuff as of late that has been a little bit annoying? I hate cooking. I'll talk about cooking a little bit. You guys probably know I suck at cooking. I did an overnight stream last year, and I tried to cook pancakes, and I burnt them. Couldn't fucking do shit. The chat were probably all telling me that I'm an idiot. They were probably all knowing themselves how to do it, and I couldn't do. There are basic tasks still that I'm not very good at performing. Like even the laundry, sometimes I fuck up with that, which is really embarrassing when you think about it. But cooking in general, I just don't like it. I've never. It may have had something to do with school. When I did food school, for whatever reason, every single time I would be paired up with this same guy that would always do the work for me, and he would never show me how to actually turn on a stove. So we're talking 2 months after the first bloody food lesson, where everyone obviously would have known how to turn on a stove the first lesson. I didn't even know how to work a fucking stove. So when that guy came in sick, and the teacher was the other person that I was partnered with. No, actually, no, this was a solo task, I think. So the teacher was watching me how the fuck I was, working. I didn't know how to do the stove, and this was 2 months after the first food. Yeah, it would have been like year 7 or year 8. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. So that's stuff like that probably hasn't helped. But I've never really been a big fan. I don't know. I don't really actively help out with cooking, I guess. But I just always seem to find a way to screw up, whether it's the technique and how you're supposed to flip even an egg, for example. I can screw up making eggs if I have it on for too long. And I just don't like the process. It takes forever. You got to cut up the ingredients, then you got to put it in the on the stove, and then you got to clean it up, then you got to eat it. And I'm a slow eater, so I take forever. And it's a whole hour of your day sometimes. It was a whole hour of my day when I was cooking last week. So now what I do is I just cook for a few days in advance. So even if I have to put the stuff in the fridge and put it in the microwave, I don't really care. Like I just smash it down. But I just don't like cooking. I'm not a fan of it, but I think I might. It actually would be kind of funny to start up a series on like a live stream, or just as part of a stream, cooking with Cardy. I don't know. I guess it's pretty cliche, something like that. But would people watch that? Who the fuck knows? Potentially, would I ever do that? I don't know. But people have always thrown around that idea, and I feel like it could be kind of entertaining. Like not as like a main channel video series, because I just feel like that'd be very random. But thinking of like trying to follow a recipe, maybe with a guest, and just having myself at the end of the day, probably knowing that I've screwed up some way or another. So yeah, that's that. I said 6-7 a couple of times on this podcast unintentionally, but we'll talk about some dumb trends, and let's just talk about that, honestly. Fuck 6-7. Why has it become so massive now? Like genuinely, it started, I'm trying to remember the first time I even heard of it. I remember a few people were mentioning in their videos, like in July probably. My live stream chat, every time it even gets mentioned, would just spam it. And I think the first time that I found out about them really wanting to spam it in my chat to piss me off was when I was in Gold Coast. I went to Wendy's for the first time whilst doing an IRL stream, and I believe my order number was 6-7. So, yeah, they must have just thought that was hilarious, and they were spamming that for 5 minutes. And at the time, I didn't know what that meant. I genuinely didn't even know what it, like, I hadn't heard of the 6-7 meme or the joke, I don't think. And then, I guess, the more, time has passed on since then, the more I've heard about it, the more popular it's become. And now everyone's posting about it. You got every brand in the country, just posting on their social media. All the footy clubs are doing it, AFL women clubs. Everyone's bloody doing 6-7, and I think it's getting to a point now where surely they're not doing it because they think it's funny. They're just doing it because it is going to gain a lot of attention. Like, surely the kids that are supposedly finding this funny don't actually think it's funny, Because if they think that it is funny, then the humor of this generation is gone literally to an all-time low. It can't get any worse than this. Like, there's a whole brain rot shit, actually, to be honest with you. All the skibbity toilet garbage, all of that crap. Fuck, it's actually really concerning for the future generations of the kids, that are going to be, growing up, that's what they have as entertainment. That's what they've been given in the schools and all that. Because now, like, my cousin who's like 6 or 7, but I'm being honest, I think she's 7. She knows about all this stuff. And I'm like, you shouldn't know about all this stuff. When I was a kid, I didn't know anything that was on social media. And I know social media was differently as a child, but when I was a kid, growing up was a lot differently. Take a moment there to actually think what the fuck was my childhood like. What was it like? Well, it was a lot more simpler than these days, what the kids are doing now. They're all on iPads and parents are just letting iPads teach, develop kids these days, all this bullshit. But it isn't just with that. I just think, 6, 7, I heard about it get spoken on the radio like the other day. It's genuinely everywhere. I think like McDonald's are doing this thing where they're doing a 6, 7 meal promotion. It's just everywhere, and it's so shit. It is not funny. People think it's so funny, but do they actually think it's funny, or are they just doing it because everyone else is doing it and it's a trend? Because I was genuinely contemplating at times on my streams in the last month, maybe 2 months, to ban that number. But how dumb would it be for me to droop down to that level, stoop down to that level, I should say, and ban a fucking word, just ban a number because a few people are saying in a live stream chat. But like, that is genuinely I wonder who came up with the whole shit. Like, who came up with that joke and what they must be feeling now, because they've just ruined an entire generation. Because it is genuinely, everyone that I know is saying it, even unironically. So, oh man, I hope it dies off soon, but it might not die off. I mean, I thought the Telstra ad was going to die off. And they still play the ad. Like, they played it at the footy on Sunday, so clearly it's still a thing, and I've just made the fucking thing more alive with the post the other day that I had, so that's great. But I thought I'd just go through my thoughts, and I'm still as confused as a lot of people are with the origins and why it's a thing. And it's what, because I'm 22, because I'm not 9, because I'm a boomer now apparently. It just doesn't make any freaking sense of how could it be funny. Jokes are meant to actually make other people laugh. How is that a joke, if it's even meant to be a joke? But whatever. We're not going to talk anything more on that at all, because I don't really want to. It may come to the surprise of absolutely nobody that I myself am not particularly the most fashionable guy around, to be honest. I tend to wear hoodies a lot and shorts and pants, and that's about it. I don't really wear, I don't have a very extravagant wardrobe with designer clothes and cool trendy pieces of clothing or anything like that. Not really. There are a lot of other people that I think have a lot of nicer things, and I don't. It's probably because this year, I guess, I've never really gone. I don't remember the last time I've actually gone out and bought something of half decent quality, like style or whatever. Like, in terms of jumpers, right, it's pretty much a hoodie or nothing now, and I kind of want to expand my wardrobe, because I'm more self-conscious now when I'm around other people, what they're wearing, and I feel like I'm not wearing as great shit as they are, especially if I'm going out to a more formal event, and I'm not wearing the clothes that probably fit the vibe or whatever it is, because I don't have that much stuff, to be honest with you, and it probably doesn't come to much surprise. Like, it's a lot of the same stuff, and I like to wear it a lot often, and that's probably because, again, like I said before, this year I haven't really done much shopping at all. I've always wanted to. I've never managed to find the time or the opportunity or whatever it is to know what to get and actually go on with it, because you can spend a lot of money on clothing, especially these days, because they're not cheap. A lot of the time it is a bit of a rip-off, some stuff that they $150, $200 for just like a bloody woolen jumper or whatever it is. Like, that shouldn't be worth $200, I don't think. But I was a lot worse back in the day, probably throughout my childhood. Like, I actually had some decent stuff. Like, when I go through childhood photos when I was like 5, 6, 7, whatever it was, I fucking said it again. Unironically, I said it 3 times this bloody episode without actually knowing. I actually was dressed quite nicely, like some pretty nice designer pieces that I was getting put on. And I think it was because my grandma from Mexico, she wanted me to wear nice things. My mum would dress me, and she'd pick some nice things out, and I don't really care what I wore at the time. Until it probably would have been when I was 8 or 9. I think I went to Mexico. I believe it was after a Mexico trip where I kind of just decided, you know what, I want to choose what I want to wear. And I wanted to wear what the other kids at school were wearing. And at the time, a lot of them were just wearing like t-shirts and shorts and like sort of like more casual, laid back shit, hoodies. And I don't think I owned a hoodie before the bloody trip. I picked up a few hoodies, and that's all I'd wear. Even at school, I'd wear them, and I'd actually got told off, mate, you shouldn't be wearing hoodies to school. Well, this is primary school, by the way. But I'd always wear shorts, t-shirt. That's it. Shorts, t-shirt, and a hoodie. I'd never wear pants. You would never see me in pants at all. At school, for whatever reason, I would make it a thing where I'd never wear pants, even if it was a really, really cold day. But a lot of other people in my school didn't either. Like, a lot of the other guys never wore pants. They would only wear shorts. And I don't know what the reason was. Was it because everyone else was also doing it? Was it because they couldn't afford to wear pants or purchase school uniform, other clothing items, which I don't think is the reason at all, because it wouldn't have cost that much more. And I'm sure they got a lot of stuff in their own wardrobe that cost more than what that would have been. Again, is it because it's just because everyone else was wearing them? I don't know, but everyone would only wear shorts. It'd only be a small selection of guys that would wear pants, even in the winter. So yeah, I'd never wear like pants and all that. And just in general, I just wouldn't really take pride in what I'd wear. I wouldn't give a fuck. Let's just say this. I don't know. Let's just say throughout high school, if I had the opportunity to either get like a box of footy cards as a gift or like a really nice t-shirt or a nice jumper, like a fashion, even if it's just a hoodie, I'd probably pick the footy cards. Like, I just wouldn't give a shit. The clothes I'd wear were really bad. Didn't look great. Couldn't go out nicely with them at all. And would make me look a lot younger, a little bit more immature, to be honest. So that was just throughout the whole high school. I didn't really care what I wore at all. I wouldn't have had anything to wear for like the formal events if that was a thing, because I don't think I ever owned a suit. Well, I definitely didn't own a suit. And I would actually do my very best to not go to events that would make me wear stuff like that. Like, even like a nice collared shirt. I thought I'd look like a complete dickhead as a kid wearing that. I thought I'd look like a nerd. So I would literally refuse to wear shit like that until a certain point where I realized, okay, my view of that is a bit silly, isn't it? Because I think I had a few, like, I'm pretty sure I had my first communion and confirmation. Of course, I had to wear something nice for that, and I did. But you would never really see me wear anything nice outside of like very few moments like that. And I've never really been to a wedding before either. Like, my last wedding was genuinely 20 years ago, and I was a baby. So like, if I did go to a funeral, I think in 2017. I don't remember what I wore, but I'd love to see photos of what I wore, because I don't reckon I would have worn anything like a suit, because I never owned a suit. And even like when I finished high school, like, you'd see, if you ever saw old videos, I would wear the same hoodies, really shitty like tracksuit pants, and even like shoes. I didn't really wear anything nice. When I went out shopping, it would either be Big W or Rebel Sport. For whatever reason, I thought Rebel Sport was like the holy grail, even though that's only shit you get if you're going like, I don't know, running and all that. Like, if you're playing sport, obviously it's a sports store. But I thought that was like the only shop that I would be able to get my bloody hoodies from, and that's all I got. I pretty much only got clothes there for a period of time, or just Big W, because I guess it was cheaper. I didn't really care. Like, I genuinely just did not give a fuck. I didn't care what I wore. I didn't think it mattered. I care now. Like, I wouldn't wear stuff like that now. Even like 3 or 4 years ago, like even like when I was 18, 19, like the clothes I would wear out would be really average quality Kmart t-shirts that aren't like, haven't got any stylish brands, that don't look nice to wear out or anything like that. I'd wear that shit and think it'd be passable. And I'm like, well, no wonder. No fucking wonder back then I never got anywhere near the girls, because the girls aren't going to want to go for people that dress like that. You look there's a really bad photo in 2022. Like the fucking shit I wore back then. I'm not saying it's really good now. I still think it's very, very average. But yeah, I don't know. Just the whole topic, I thought I'd just cover it a little bit. Like when we've got a little bit of time left. I think we're probably almost at the hour mark, but I need a wardrobe change, because the last bit of clothing that I've gotten that was anything decent, personally, that I can remember, if you don't count Thailand, would have probably been a jacket at Kathmandu in June, July. And I only bought that because there was a sale on. I was just around the area. I'm like, this is before the State of Origin game. I had like an hour or two to kill in the city, and I walked past and I saw there was a fucking sale, so I thought I may as well get it because I wanted a jacket like that. I thought it was quite nice and it'd be good to wear in winter when it's cold and all that. I got a St Kilda polo shirt from the Saints store in September, and that is about all I've done this year, at least since July or June in terms of clothes. So that's where I'm at the moment. I think for the most part, why as of late I haven't really gone out of my way to get some is because clothes aren't cheap. You can literally go and spend over $1,000 if you really wanted to in like 30 minutes if you were just seeing stuff that you liked and all that. So I've got to find the right sales and deals. And I would like to go with people. Haven't had that opportunity to go with actually a friend shopping because I hate shopping by myself. I don't know what it is. I just don't like walking to a shop and I just feel pressured by the shopkeeper to purchase something, even if I'm just looking. So I feel like I'll never go to a shop that's like empty. I'd have to go when it's like either busy or just a larger store. So like some of the smallest shops in like shopping centers, I wouldn't go into for that reason. And I don't really know why, and I still sort of do that. But I used to do it a lot more where I'd literally be walking past the shop knowing that I wanted to go in that shop, but I just feel anxious in walking there for some reason. And there are a few people that also do that I know of, but it's weird because I guess I don't know what I want to what I want to wear, what clothes I want, what nice clothes I want to wear because I'm not the sort of guy that does that very often, as you can clearly tell. I've got some alright summer stuff. Like I got some nice shirts now. I've got some decent shorts, some sunnies. That's sort of. I don't really need anything more than that, to be honest with you. Maybe I do need another pair of sneakers, like runners, because my older blue ones, something's gone wrong with the sole of the shoe, and it's coming in at an angle. So people now notice that when I'm running, my foot's going inwards when it shouldn't be doing that. So it's like one of my foot's going inward. And it's becoming quite uncomfortable to wear. So I could look into purchasing some runners. I could have bought some fake ones in Thailand, but I don't know. I feel like if I was going to get them, I want ones that will last, not some shitty quality ones that won't last. They're not going to last well enough if you get them from Thailand. But I did buy running shorts in Thailand because I didn't think it mattered, to be honest with you. Like I've worn them a lot and they've been fine, to be honest with you. Some sort of like cheap Nike shorts or whatever. But yeah. I don't know. I definitely do want to have not a massive wardrobe change, but I just feel like the clothes I was wearing, as I said before, back in the day, just weren't as nice. Maybe people just didn't take me so as seriously or as professionally as I would have wanted them to because of the stuff I wore, how I would perceive myself. Even as something as simple as wearing my Year 12 school hoodie in videos, like probably people wouldn't do that. I don't remember why I started doing that. I guess it would have just been in Year 12 I was wearing it and I just still had it. But now I might phase wearing that out, to be honest, because there are some nicer things to wear. That's Year 12. It's fucking 5 years since I graduated. I'll tuck that away. They're pajamas. If they're clothes, honestly, if they're clothes that I'd wear to bed, I shouldn't be wearing them out, even if it's in videos or streams, especially videos, but certainly wearing out. Because I actually would not even care what I'd wear. And obviously I care a bit more now, but it's different. Like even if you look back a couple of years ago in 2023, to that, what event was it? The AFL 23 event. Everyone else was wearing a nice collared shirt at the very least. I didn't know what to wear at the time because I was kind of anxious about it. And I went and bought a bloody Rebel Sport Nike hoodie for some reason. I thought that was the sort of attire to wear. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I still sort of don't. I kind of do more, but there are so many other people that I know that dress better than I do, and I just don't know why I'm not great at it. I need better clothes. I don't have anything nice enough still when I go out. I feel like I still don't, and I felt that way even yesterday. So, yeah, I don't know. There's that. Hopefully, though, I can get some nice stuff soon. Maybe for next winter. That'd be cool. All right, I probably will wrap it up now. I feel like we've probably passed the hour mark. I'm not too sure. What I will quickly say, though, for the rest of the week, so I'm not sure what the content's going to look like. I think I already said Thailand vlog will be out very soon on this channel, and that members vlog and another bit of content as well. the streaming might not be as easy because I don't know how streaming is going to be on the laptop, but I think it should still be fine. I just don't have all the elements and the graphics because all of those are on my other laptop, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to recover them. But luckily, nothing major has been lost, so we're all good on that front. We're sort of back on track, I guess. And I've also decided not to premiere this purely because I would like to know how a video with a premiere and without a premiere would perform. Because I've premiered the last bunch, the last like 10, because I do like people talking about the topics as the premiere is going on. Like as the stream's happening live, kind of they're talking about. I kind of like that because you don't really get as much engagement if you just put out a video. So we'll see. But let me know if you're still watching at this point, if you'd rather have this a premiere, if you're able to make like the 6, 7, oh my God. Fuck! 6 to 7 p.m. premieres. Mate, I'm not even joking now. I'm going to get trauma flashbacks from that fucking number. I can't say it anymore. I've already said it 4 times now when I didn't want to say it. I think on that note, I need to end. I'm ending this shit. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully, hopefully I'm waking up earlier the next week. That's something that's going to be something I'll really try hard at doing, which sounds a lot easier than what I've been making out to be. All right, thank you all for listening, and we're back with Chat with Cardy. Whoa.